This question around cost, right? This is a big one, especially now. Food prices definitely have gone up. Produce is more expensive, food is more expensive. So this question about is it expensive to eat a brain healthy diet and how to do it on a budget is a really valid one, especially now today in 2026. It's important for me to start off by saying it's a common misconception that eating a brain healthy, diverse, plant-rich diet is difficult and expensive, because in reality, overall, just in comparison to other ways that you could be eating, plant-based foods, which is basically produce, are generally cheaper than animal products. If you're going for processed vegan foods, that may not be the case, right? But what I'm advocating here are actual whole foods, right? So we're talking about produce, fruits, vegetables, primarily. If you're going to have grains, they're single ingredient items, right? Research shows that shifting to a more plant-based diet can actually be 25% to 29% less expensive than eating the standard American diet. Okay, so they've actually done studies. However, food is more expensive across the board right now. So what are some strategies that you can use to cut the cost down? I'm just going to share from my experience what I've been doing. But first, let me set the tone of this. I wrote a book years ago called You Can Afford to Be Healthy, and I haven't really changed my mind on that position. So if you're really interested in diving deep on what I'm talking about in this topic, I would highly recommend you get that book, because ultimately, and this message is really for people who are above the poverty line. If you are below the poverty line, that is a completely different conversation, right? But if you are above the poverty line, you are pulling in a salary. Ultimately, it comes down to priorities. You have a fixed income and money's going to go out. You have to pay for a roof over your head. You have to pay for the utilities. You have expenses, right? Phone, internet, right? These are just things you have to pay for. And food is one of those things, because we can't live without food, right? We can't exist beyond 6 months without food. When it comes to food and water, these are non-negotiable expenses. And so for me, first and foremost, my money's going there. Anything else that I can't afford. But food and water, if I'm making money, I'm pulling in a salary, that is a priority. Okay? So that is, I just want to preface that by saying that. And if you want more detail, you can go ahead and read my book. It's on my website. It's on Amazon. It's called You Can Afford to Be Healthy. But in terms of how can we be a little bit more conscious about our food spending right now when prices are crazy? Okay. So I would say, especially in the raw food community, I promote a high raw vegan diet because yes, raw does, first of all, you don't have to be 100% raw. Everybody, right? Some people, it would be in their best interest, but most of us, we don't have to be 100% raw. I did a video about that already, so you can find that on my channel. In the raw food community, there's a lot of perfectionism. It's like raw is law. And for some people, it doesn't even work. It doesn't work full year, like year round, depending on where you are. Or it doesn't work for the phase of life that you're in at the moment. Right? And that is just being truthful and real. Not everyone is there. And some people have some genuine concerns, and sometimes certain things in the news don't really help those concerns. And those psychological reasons are really important, right? Because if you feel in your mind like something is not safe, then it's going to be hard for you to enjoy the food. And we want to be able to enjoy our food, especially for sustainability. So my first tip would be to embrace frozen foods, okay? These foods that are frozen, first of all, I always buy organic, okay? And I'll talk a little bit more about this, but I personally put my money into organic. When it comes to living a brain healthy lifestyle, we don't want toxins in the body because it does compromise brain function, right? And especially our digestive health. So I always buy organic. So when I get organic produce frozen, those frozen produce items are always going to be cooked, because raw, for me, it doesn't taste good. And I'm specifically talking about the vegetables. Obviously, frozen fruit, you can use that to make maybe a raw vegan cheesecake or something. You could use it to make a smoothie or some raw vegan ice cream or something like that. Yeah, frozen, that's fine. But like with vegetables in particular, like I buy frozen butternut squash, frozen cauliflower, and I cook those. And they last because they're frozen. And I make them taste really good, right? It's inexpensive because of that shelf life. And it's basically already prepped for you, so you save time. So it's very cost effective, and it's nutritious because the way it's processed is that it's frozen after harvesting, which locks in the nutrients. It works out. My second tip is to rely on legumes and maybe some grains if you're incorporating that into your diet. So for me, in our house, we have a protein drawer, right? I created a protein drawer and I loaded up with all the beans, including all the legumes. So beans, lentils, split peas, all the things, so that we could have a rotating with these beans on the regular, and I get diversity in my diet. And also it becomes like a grounding staple in the meal. Sometimes quinoa is my grounding staple. I also put that in the protein drawer. And it's really affordable. Again, these things, they're dry, they have a longer shelf life, and easy to make, very affordable. You just throw it in the pressure cooker. You know what I'm saying? That's what I do, because I save time, and it's just super easy. The third thing, eat seasonally and locally. So like I'm in Florida, in Central Florida. I don't have access to all the fruits all the time, but when the fruits come into season, I take advantage. So right now we have really great cherries, we have nectarines. Now is prime fruit time. So I'm thoroughly enjoying that. Plums, all that stuff, apricots, all the things, right? But there will come a time in the year where there's only apples and citrus available, and I eat that. I'm not going to spend money on grapes if they're ridiculously priced, or cherries when they're out of season and it's a crazy amount of money, because I know it will come into season and be at a reasonable price. And you just know what those prices are as you track and follow them. You will keep watching as you continue in this lifestyle. You watch, and I'm not someone who watches prices like that, but I notice, like, if I'm buying a batch of blueberries, if they're more than $7, I don't know. Am I really into it today to get fresh blueberries? Or cherries? You can tell based on the size and what the price is. Is this a reasonable price for the cherries? I really love cherries, but I'm not going to spend like $15, $20 per pound or something crazy. Like, it has to be relatively around the ballpark of what I've seen before, and nothing too crazy. So that's how you just keep your eyes out for things. When you're eating out of season, things are going to be crazily priced. Or if they have to import it from someplace far away, and if they have to import it from someplace far away, most likely a lot of nutrient is lost versus if you were to get it closer. It has a less time to travel. It's been separated from the soil a shorter period of time. So it's just more ideal. My fourth tip on organic. Now, some people would say it's more important for you to get your fruits and vegetables than for them to be organic. And I would say that the chemicals that are sprayed on these foods are the reason why we have such high rates of autoimmune disease, of gut issues. And when our gut health is compromised, our brain health is compromised. I don't take those chances. The same thing that's happening to the insects on these plants, where their stomachs are basically blowing up, it's happening on a smaller scale for us when we have the glyphosate sprayed produce, right? And you can always go to the environmental working group and download the Dirty Dozen and make sure at least that list you're getting organic. If you want to get the rest non, or if you're getting stuff with really thick skin like banana or citrus, that you can go without it there. I personally buy everything organic when it comes to food, even the thick-skinned fruit. And why? Because I care about what I put my money into. And when I buy organic, I'm investing in organic. I'm investing in the health and well-being of the farmers that produce organic produce to make sure that the folks that are tending to the land, they're not at risk of getting cancer, or their children, because they're having to spray all this stuff. I am totally against the spraying of glyphosate and all these chemicals on the produce, so I don't put my money there, right? Because my money is how I vote for what I believe in. And so that is just a personal thing for me. But when it comes to the financial part, that's where you could figure out for you what you want to do. It's totally up to you how you want to go about that. My fifth tip, to get the diversity, because really when we think about a brain healthy diet, we want diversity in our meals. So how I do that is I load up on spices. I use a lot of different spices. Of course, they have to be complementary. It needs to make sense. You're not just going to throw anything and everything, but as many different spices as you can, because they do count towards that plant diversity. I also like to add different things for texture. That's more of a palatary note for me, like the excitement. I love texture in my meals, but it also helps with that plant diversity. So I will add things like chopped nuts or seeds into my dishes as a topper. And it just adds a little bit more anti-inflammatory polyphenols and antioxidants to the dish. My sixth tip is soups, right? You can make soups and get meaty textures, right? You can use lentils. That's how I like to get that meaty texture in a soup, is with lentils. Put in some garlic and onions. You get a really nice savory, meaty flavor profile. And soups are very budget friendly. You can batch cook it. You can freeze that, warm it up, and it's very inexpensive. It can stretch really far. My last tip is to shop the perimeter. Like I said, we're focused on the produce. And this is how we maintain a healthy brain, when we eat fresh fruits and vegetables. So if you focus there, you're going to save the money. If you go for a lot of the packaged stuff, that stuff is full of ingredients that's not healthy for the brain. You're most likely going to spend more money, especially when it comes to the vegan items, because there is a premium, because we are a small percentage of the population. So they're like, that's capitalism for you. How can we really bank on this small percentage of people? They got to pay a premium price for the lifestyle or whatever, when really we're just trying to be healthy. So, this lifestyle, it doesn't have to be uber ridiculously expensive. This topic never gets old. And I think it's especially important in today, because regardless of how you're eating, you could be a carnivore all the way to, fruitarian, right? Definitely. I think even if you're just doing a water diet, even clean, healthy water like Mountain Valley, the prices have gone up. Everything is more expensive. If you're in the market for filters right now, there's tariffs and there's all sorts of things going on at the national level that is affecting us, which is why it's important for us to vote. I'm in Florida. This year is a really important voting year, but anytime you have an opportunity to vote, you need to go to the polls with this health equity lens in mind, right? With how you and your family are on your health and wellness journey, and how are these politicians making it easier and helping you and your community to be healthy, right? What is their stance on all these chemicals that is being sprayed on the food? Our accessibility to healthy produce, grocery stores in the area with actual stuff that we can buy and use that's affordable, that's healthy, that's not full of chemicals. You vote for these things, not just with the money, but actually going to the polls. Anybody saying, oh, I don't like being political, no. If you are living in the world, exercise your agency, because a lot of people died for that opportunity, and we're all being affected by it. Even if you don't think you're being affected by it, we are all being affected by these federal policies that, federal and local policies that are being implemented. So we do have to pay attention, and we do need to exercise our agency.